grab a cup of tea and put your feet up because I've got a big video for you today. I'm bringing you along for a full day of thrifting, antiquing, and a mansion tour / estate sale. First up is this antique shop in Clarence, New York.
Okay.
This store was laid out really nicely. It was very shoppable. Isn't that a beautiful dresser there? And this one here on the right, gorgeous blue French provincial dresser, which looks familiar, doesn't it? I tried so hard not to swing the camera around, so forgive me if I do. Look at the burling on this piece. Watching this back, that light colored piece in the center there, really catches my eye. There were some beautiful pieces in here, and a lot of them were already sold. This was a very nice curio. Big, heavy piece. Cute little umbrella stand. I love these beautiful mahogany corner pieces. Just gorgeous. And see what I mean? Sold on that one. It's good to see that people are shopping and buying antiques. What do you think this cupboard is here in the corner? And I noticed this above it. I thought it might be a Victorian hairpiece, but no, I think it's silk ribbon embroidery. I had to peek in here. Very dusty little shelves. This whole far section of the store was more primitive pieces, and I liked how it was laid out this way. You know I can't resist transferware. I've got to look at the patterns. I always see things on the second pass through when I'm editing that I wish I'd looked at more closely. There's just so much to take in when you're there in person, especially when I'm filming and talking to my aunt about the different things we're seeing. And look at this beautiful pie safe. I wish I'd checked this one out a little more closely because that's just a gorgeous piece. But look at this step back hutch. Huge piece. Of course, this basket caught my eye. I love a good basket. This one didn't have a tag or price on it though. Whoever bought this got an incredible deal because they are usually $1,200 to $1,500 that I see, when they're in this condition anyway. This ginger beer absolutely cracked me up. And here's some blue and white. This piece looks like it was pulled straight out of a house, like it was maybe a built-in or something. I don't know. What a great color, this light sage green. Huge piece. Be beautiful in an entryway. My aunt was reading the tag on this, and apparently it's a display piece for rope in a store. Really interesting. I guess you would hang different lengths of it or different types. Little seed box from Rochester, New York. And this was just a gorgeous color on this corner piece, a much more primitive corner piece than some of the other ones, but really pretty color. This basket was so cute, but $40 for that teeny tiny basket? I don't think so. Not today. I do try to step back for you all and give you a little bit better view when I can, but it doesn't always work out. I know these are considered quintessential English country decor, but I think that they're just about the ugliest things I've ever seen. I do not understand why they're so popular. This little drop leaf desk, the surface was just satiny smooth. Oh, I love it. And it is from 1850. Beautiful little piece if you had a spot for it. I always laugh when I see these huge groups of Hummels. Oh my gosh. Talk about a collectible that did not hold its value. I don't know what happened here. I went a little sideways. Sorry. I couldn't open the door on this because stuff was in the way, and I was trying to see if this was anything worth looking at, but it was really nothing special. Just blue and white. Always catches my eye. And now we're on to the next stop, which is the Expo Center in the Clarence Antique Center complex. For some reason, empty helmets always make me kind of sad. I don't know why. Maybe it drives home that feeling of them being faceless and just numbers. I don't know. It just makes me uneasy. These were really cute. They were English ironstone. It said Castle series, but all I saw was churches and all the same pattern. So I don't know. Now this was interesting. I have seen these before, but not for quite some time. And the idea is that you're cutting a cake. You don't want to smash it to bits when you're doing so the pressure gets distributed across all those different tines. These were pretty, just serviceable, plain white dishes. Being an expo center, of course, there were just lots of different booths, and they all had kind of a hodgepodge of things in them. This was a beautiful plate. Look at the print on that rim. And this was a really nice freestanding lamp. That shade definitely does not go with my decor. I kind of wish I'd looked at that big one there, but I missed it. This one caught my eye. I have an eagle shade like this on a lamp I thrifted, I don't know, a couple of years ago now. And I do love a brass lamp. This pile on the table of Harper's Weekly made me nostalgic for Civil War reenacting. We used to sit around and read those as our only entertainment in camp, so that brought back some memories. Isn't this lamp fabulous? She gave me French peasant vibes. I loved the way these old photographs were all set out so you could actually see them instead of shoved away in a box. This lamp caught my eye. Again, a brass lamp base. The price was certainly right, but oh my gosh, it was ugly. So that did not go home with me. These were gorgeous. Oh, shell pink. I could not get to them though. There was so much stuff piled in this booth. What really caught my eye was that incredible fire screen behind them. I could see that it was $300 though. Lots of little trinkets in this booth. I love looking at the tiny figurines though, especially when there are little dogs. These little cows were so sweet. These were lovely. I'm always on the lookout for candle holders. I love anything that's filigree or etched too. So pretty. Pretty and useful. It's a nice combination. These two are very sweet and very French. This booth had all kinds of strange stuff in it, but this lamp, a very French country. I could not see the price tag though, and I also couldn't get to it. I like these Danish plates, but I am not a collector, so I only pick up the ones I really like. And that about does it for this location. We are on to the big estate sale in the George Urban Mansion. Now I have to tell you, I did not look up anything about this estate sale before we went. We just had the address. I did not realize what house this was or that it was anything of significance. So I was quite caught off guard by the house, the property, all of it. I paused on this so you can see what it says. I absolutely love how it is set so far back off this street. These beautiful old mature trees in front. And I'm so glad we parked on the street because as you walk up the approach to this house, absolutely lovely arcing driveway. I noticed two things immediately about this house. The first was that originally this seemed like it was probably like an 1880s-ish Italianate style or Italianate reminiscent style house, and that at some point someone or possibly many someones had tried to make her into something else. Everything about this house was just odd. It just didn't feel right. It didn't look right. It didn't feel right. And I mean no offense to anyone who made any of these decisions or changes to the house or lived here. This porch seemed wrong. The proportions seemed wrong. Clearly, this brick was not original to the house. Not that everything has to be original, but some things really jump out at you. This paneling to me said, Anyway, I sat down to put on these super fashionable booties as you do when touring a house in the winter. Again, these doors seem like they might be later than the original house. And I was distracted by this pocket door. I love these heavy pocket doors. Nice ornamentation on the ceiling. Not sure if that's original, but it's very tasteful. Love the color of the paint, that pretty sage green. This chandelier, I don't know. And there were so many serving glasses. I mean, so many. These were everywhere. Wine glasses, candle holders, regular glasses. Seemed commercial almost. And then, okay, now this is when things started to get extra weird. So I'm looking at this marble piece thinking, what on earth is this? It just didn't, I don't know, it just didn't fit. It seemed like it didn't flow. And then there were all those marble pieces around the floor, the outside of the room there on the floor. So I turned around to look at this, and it just doesn't fit. This is very beautifully made millwork, but it's not 1800s millwork. It's definitely more modern. And the ornaments on the ceiling didn't seem like they were original to me, so I started asking a lot of questions in my head. Again, while experiencing this house for the first time and lots of people around me, talking to my aunt. But something I may not have told you is that I used to teach an architecture course at the Living History Museum that I worked at. And so my brain was just in overdrive trying to figure out what the heck was happening with this huge room. My aunt pointed that out to me because I collect those prints, but I wasn't interested in that one. So again, I'm looking over here. I wasn't sure what was going on to the left there. I did notice these candelabras on the wall, very pretty, very French country, but they looked a little off. This is where we're trying to figure out what made out of. I don't know. I think they were some kind of cast resin. They weren't metal. And again, I'm looking at the ceiling, and then, oh gosh, that is a lot of water damage. Above us is a flat roof, and those can be problematic. But again, what I'm looking at is the plaster work, in quotes, on the ceiling, especially when you compare it to the dining room next door. Look at that absolutely incredible medallion. Those huge acanthus leaves in the center. Gosh, what a stunning work of art that is. And an absolutely beautiful chandelier. I even like the wallpaper in here. What a beautiful room this is. Quite a nice china cabinet. Lots of gorgeous light in this room. And I'm looking at this thinking, is that a window? That can't be a door, though it could have been a porch window. Huge table and chairs. Felt a little big for this room, but not terrible. And I loved this window. Look at the size of those window panes. Oh my gosh, they're huge. Then over here, look at this window. See, this is what I think the one across from it is. I think it's also a window. Absolutely stunning. Then in this next room, just across the hall, it was set up like an office. And if you're having a hard time with me not being able to get the whole room, I completely understand. There were lots of people around, and I'm going to link below the realtor video so you can get a really good tour of the house if you're interested. Look at this hallway, front to all the way to the back of the house, that beautiful enfilade effect. And this area to the right here, we were commenting on how amazing that huge coat closet was. And I spotted this strategic curtain here and thought, what's back there? So there's this huge door, beautiful handle, with chicken wire in the windows. I'm assuming that's an anti-theft measure. But what was going on out here? All the plaster is stripped off the brick, and those beams had been sawn off. Very confusing. I don't know what was going on there. This piece, gorgeous. Look at that burling. Wow. Okay, so now we're going down the hallway further, and this room was off to the left. It connects to the dining room. Gorgeous windows and shutters again in here. Absolutely stunning, and beautiful to see wood that hasn't been painted. So nice. I did not get footage of the kitchen. It was absolutely packed. Just off the kitchen is this further entryway with another door to the right. You can see daylight through those pieces of the door there. Very perplexing situation with some of the parts of this house. And then this sliding door leads out to this jaw-dropping pool area. Obviously does not fit with the house at all, but wow, it was probably something to behold when it was first built. As you can see, those skylights look a little suspect. I don't know what's going on there. I find myself wondering what one would do with this area if you bought this house, because I'm sure it would need to be completely overhauled. There's a 6-car garage over here. We just peeked in. We weren't in the mood to go through clothing and such. So we returned to the front of the house in the entry. I wanted to look at these chairs that I noticed on the way in. I love myself a French chair, but boy, these were in terrible shape. I fixed chairs that were in worse shape than that, but they didn't seem worth fixing, and they were quite overpriced. This ingle nook, I love these features in some of these old houses. Can you imagine how cozy that would be with a fire going there? What a lovely place to wait or even just hang out. I paused on the newel post here, very intricate carvings there. And again, I'm looking at all of this and thinking, gosh, it almost seems like, again, I don't know anything about this house, but it almost seems like there was sort of this like Gilded Age era facelift that this house must have gotten. And something that confirms that to me is how low the ceiling is here to the left as you're going up this very grand staircase that I really suspect was added later to replace a much more simple and modest 1880s style. Straight ahead is what appeared to be used as the master bedroom. Lots of big furniture in there, so it was a little tight. Huge long hallway upstairs, which makes sense how long this house is, and unfortunately we couldn't go in any of those rooms. There was really nothing in the ones at the end of the hall here, so I'm going to give you a look back down the hallway. And in the front of the house, so this is the frontmost room over the sort of parlor we were in downstairs, and the light in here was absolutely stunning. The people who built these homes really knew what they were doing to capture natural light. Lovely fireplace there to the right. And there's a kind of a big, I don't know, a closet area, I guess, over here. Maybe that was another smaller room at one time. This is a lovely room. Beautiful chandelier, big windows. The furniture was very shabby up here, though. This is the second day of the sale, so there may have been a lot more beautiful furniture in here before. Here's the banister of the second story, and you can see the stair goes all the way up to the third story. Again, I suspect this may have been added, the third floor. I could be completely wrong about everything I'm saying. It's just what was occurring to me as I'm looking at these photos and walking through this house. And it also felt off to me in different ways, so I actually didn't buy anything. I set down the thing that I was carrying because it just felt a little odd and I didn't want to bring that home with me. Tell me what you think about some of the things that I mentioned about the upgrades, etc. I was able to confirm that that originally was a wrap-around porch that was bricked in the 1980s. So no wonder it felt so strange. It just did not fit with the original sort of petite features of the 1880s structure. Okay, now I'm going to show you what I actually did purchase today. Aren't these just beautiful? I think they're elegant and lovely, and I'll get lots of use out of them. So look for these in future videos on my table. I thank you so much for coming along with me. Let me know what you thought below, and I will see you in the next video.